Hello? Hello, people. Are we here? Oh, I should have done that. Duct tape. I don't have to duct tape it to the tripod anymore. I fixed it. Yep. I fixed it. How's everyone going? You still there? Hello? Someone respond. Come in. Come in, chat. There's someone. Hello. Can you hear me? The fan is on. I have the fan going. Is the fan loud? Someone tell me. You are here. Excellent. Hello from Texas. Hello, Sean. Tobho. Hello. Okay. People are here. Good, good. I apologize. I'm looking over here, even though the camera part's over here. You can hear me. All right. I don't really have plans to do something on stream today beyond showing you some cool things that I just got and talking over them a bit. Although, I do have some acid here to put on that iron thing. Some people commented I should put acid on it and see if... hello, Tact! Hello. GB, is that great? Kilted Crafts? I have a kilt. I have two kilts. Just so you know. One of them is a sport kilt. Don't know if that counts. When am I buying a Mazda 3? When I have money. And to get rid of another car. Hello, Bill. So while people are filtering in here, I am going to put some of this acid here. Look, warning labels and everything, so you know it's good. I'm going to put some of this acid on this ingot and just let it stew for a while we chit-chat about another thing. I just clamped this into a 39 people. He got the acid. Yes. Well, couldn't find the full that I was looking for, but I got something. You're supposed to be able to use this indoors, it says. So I don't know. Don't know how well it'll work. Just gonna dab some on. There went my connection. Is my connection gone or something? What's the acid for? It is for trying to etch the open part of the edge of the. Are we back? It came back. Hello? Connection is definitely bad. Greetings from Germany. Hello, Germany. Guten Tag. Or whatever time it is there. Night? Guten Abend? Something? Once? Finland at one point. Are we back? I'm trying something else now. No more Wi-Fi. Internet, the phone data. So this live stream will definitely not be on replay. Because I don't like janky live streams. See the number going up, people? Not completely gone. Baby, it's cold. Netherlands are cool too. That old place would be all of Europe would be pretty nice to visit, but time and money, you know. There I am. Okay. So that's stewing away. Hopefully. I wanted to show you something cool that I just got. Texas must be warm. Please send warm here. There, it's better. Okay. I just before I came here, was just out on a mission. I picked up a couple of new things. Take a look at that. That's kind of why I'm late. I said it was going to be 2 o'clock, but it's like 2:50 when I got home. In my defense, I said 2-ish. 2-ish. Ish is plus or minus whatever amount of time it takes me to actually get the thing going. Check those out. What do you think? These are 2 electric pottery kilns. There's one, the small one runs on, well, they're both 220. That's 30 amp service. I have 30 amp service here in the garage, but the plug is the wrong plug, so I gotta go get a new plug. The big honking one is 50 amp service. So I don't have 50 amp service out here at the moment, but I would like to get it. I actually kind of want a whole box, like a 100 amp service box out here. So for the moment, I can't use the big one because I can't power it, but I can use the small one. And check it out. What kind of controllers? You know, I don't know. I think this one's got just timers or something. Yeah. Okay. Here, we're gonna risk upsetting the phone signal and take a closer look. So this one has these timers, or I guess these aren't timers. Off, low, medium. Off, low, medium. Or off, high, low, medium. I don't really know how all of this goes, but I have the books. So there's a book on how to use it. Sorry, you're late. You're not late. I was late. I have the books on how to use them up here. I have a couple of knobs. These go back over here. Use cones. I got some cones in that box. The heat cones the guy explained to me. And then I got this one. Duncan Energy Saver Automatic Kiln. I got these knobs over on the bench there. And then this is okay, so this is a knob, a setting knob, and something that happens. I gotta read the books. I don't know how these work. I got the things that go in here, the plugs. And check this out. Ta-da! Huge! Energy saver. The base is cracked. I don't really know what's up with that, but it was cracked when I picked it up. Energy saver. Just takes 50 amps. 220. This is part of a key that holds like two of the pieces together. Yeah. Hello, Christ-Centered Ironworks. Hello, Roy. Yes, we are checking out my cool new toys here. It is 2 giant pottery kilns. Cones melt and switch off the kiln. Yeah. So I got the instructions here. And then he gave me this box. Here are the cones. And then here are these things that go in the holes. You can pull them out, take a look. I'm not certain what all of this stuff is. It's more cones, and I don't know what all these are for, but I'm sure it's in the instructions. More cones, and looks like a bunch of pyrometric cones. Discount price, you wouldn't believe it. What are the cones? The cones melt, and when they melt, you turn off the kiln. So these are the kilns. So hang on, we're gonna go back to the stand here and stop the Vomit Express. And now more Vomit Express, because you have to see my face. So the discount price, someone asked about the price. It was an old couple who used to do pottery, and they just wanted them gone. That's it. I asked them multiple times, you sure you just want them gone? You don't want money for them or something? And they said, nope, just get them out of the house. So I got them for $0, but I did fix their dryer, and I had to carry them out of the basement myself because the guy had some health issues, and he just couldn't help carry them, which is totally fine. So I had to take them both, and I had to get them out of the basement. So perfectly reasonable to me. I mean, two good kilns for no dollars. That's pretty great. So if I ever get the hang of this and make something cool, I'm gonna have to send it to him, you know, to as a thank you. He also saved all the books and stuff, and he's just a super nice guy, and his wife was super nice. So I gave him a big bronze ingot, a tin bronze ingot, you know, just as something. Here, I made this, you know, because I didn't want to give him nothing. You know, I wanted to give him something. He said his washing machine and dryer work great. He's got good ones. But yeah, that's it. Now, you might think pottery is a little out of my wheelhouse because I've never done pottery on the stream, but actually, ask him get into pottery. So, I studied ceramics in graduate school for like 6 years. So after college, I was studying historic period ceramics made by Native Americans and by Europeans, sent to the colonies for stores. You go to a store and buy ceramics. Most of the ceramics you could buy here were made in Europe. And I studied those ceramics and the consumption of those ceramics during like 1700s, a little into the 1800s, that time period. I studied that for like 6 years. So I've done more study of ceramics than anything else. I just never did videos on it because I'm not an archaeology channel. But ceramics are pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. Even though I've just never, I really haven't made much out of pottery either, which is weird. I just studied it and dug it up and all that. Your phone died, what you missed? Just rambling. Just me talking. It's not that big a deal. Who is eating ceramics? They're not eating them, but when you have ceramics and you eat from them, they break. And when they break, what do? You don't have like a garbage truck coming to pick up your stuff. It's like, oh, this broke, huck it out the window. And then it smashes on the ground and filters in through the grass. And 300 years later, bearded people dig it up and wonder, what does this all mean? That's what happens with ceramics. But what I'm going to do more specifically, like near term, related to the channel anyway, I would like to make crucibles. Try making crucibles. And also I would like maybe to try making molds, ceramic molds, you know. I have a theory that you can make a ceramic mold for casting bronze, like those two-part casting molds. Well, they used to like carve them out of stone. If I make them out of ceramic, maybe I can reuse them. I don't know. Maybe not with bronze, because most clay fires at a pretty low temperature. But maybe I can cast things in like tin or something. I don't know. Thin the big kiln wall is. Oh. The comment went away. Would a kiln benefit from having 2 layers of that fire brick? Possibly. Although lost PLA molds, that's another thing, Chirpy. Yeah. So the thin walls on this kiln, someone asked about, this was in the guy's basement. He just used it inside his house, and he said it didn't get hot on the outside because he would heat it up and fire your ceramics, and then when the timer's up, you turn it off, and then you just let the thing cool off on its own. So after a long time, like hours, it cools down back down to room temperature, and then you open it up and check out the stuff. So, I mean, if they insulate that well and you can use them in your house, you know, why I should be perfectly fine using them in here in the garage. Although the big honkin' one, I can't use. Like I mentioned before, I don't have 50 amp service out here yet. I would like a power box with 100 amp service if possible, so I could like run the welder and the air compressor and the heater simultaneously instead of just one at a time. So congratulations on the new kiln. Thank you, Roy. Thank you. Roy or Jessica, I don't know. It's one of you. Christ Center Ironworks. One or both. You can melt copper. I might be able to. I really don't know how hot these get. I do not know. How else is that going to work with the most patient Paul? Yeah, I don't know about that one. It's Roy. Hello, Roy. Good. You might be happy to hear, Roy, tomorrow I plan on firing up the forge. Is Pollock particularly Viking today? Yeah. Time to run some wire to that garage. So that's the thing. It's not 30 amp service in the garage. It's 30 amp service in the basement and a hole through the wall where I run a cord. Not the best. When I bought the place, there was no inspection. So I snuck through on that one. I didn't have to quickly disassemble my wiring. So that's good. There's so many lights. Doubt you can melt copper, burn out the Canthal elements. Yeah, you know, I don't really know if I want to melt metal in these anyway, because I get a lot of like gunk, and I'd really rather not wreck them because they're in pretty good shape. Tesla Spectre is going. All right. We shall see you later. Yeah, I might. I don't think I'm gonna stream the forging, but I plan to do some. I kind of want to make one of those railroad spikes into a knife or a letter opener or something, and give it back to the guy who gave me a bucket of railroad spikes. Merry holidays, hello. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan, but that probably I'm gonna make a video on that, but probably not. It won't be the next video going out. The next video that goes out, next Friday, I plan on being the casting those coins. I wanted to do that last weekend, but it was raining the entire time. But it's gonna be nice tomorrow. So get some forging, get some casting. Find an old knife and forge in a railroad spike. Yes, yes I could. And Chirpy gave me that maker's mark. Yes, you know, hold on. You've heard people using old hangers, wire clothes hangers, for filler rod welding. Well, I took a piece of steel filler rod and made a coat hanger out of it. A little bit backwards, but it works. Well, it would work for children's coats. It's a little bit too small for one of mine, but filler rods are only so long, so. Should be able to melt cast iron. Probably not in the kiln, but I can melt it in my casting furnace, because fire is cool. Do you have any particular books you're following recipes for the crucibles? Gingery has one, and as soon as I posted a picture of the kilns, Chirpy sent me a bunch of PDFs, so I'll probably be following that. Mary Palmas, other Paul, yes. Yes, yes, yes. You lost some weight, dude, Ralph says. Yes, 60 pounds. 60 pounds. Homemade ceramic wheel. That crossed my mind as well. That also crossed my mind. I have, that Razor scooter that I showed? No, I didn't show that in a video, did I? I think that was in a Patreon bonus video, but I'll show a video of it. Boom. Check it out. I got a Razor scooter that doesn't work. It didn't work, and then I rigged it so it does work, but it's crazy dangerous. Like 10 times more dangerous than it was originally, which is saying something. They're pretty dangerous. But I have 2 more of those motors. They're DC motors, 24-volt motors. They would work really well, I think, in a pottery wheel. But really, I don't have near-term plans for doing pottery stuff. It was more just like, I can get these kilns for no money and help an old guy out, so I did it. Don't mess with gingery crucibles? Okay. Yeah, what an alarming precedent. To do something dangerous. Yes. Creepy crawly molds. I remember creepy crawlers. I think I was in 1st grade. Yeah, 1st grade, and someone brought a whole bunch of those to class one day, which is kind of cool, I guess. Silicone molds. Speaking of molding things that are not metal, I watched a bunch of videos on casting. They were casting, what was it? It was like lenses for car, like light lenses. They're acrylic or whatever they are, some kind of plastic. Watched a bunch of that, and I was like, that would be cool, but not in the cards near term. Burned yourself on creepy crawler molds. Yeah, they must have been pretty hot. You're old? Sean Hirsch says, oh crap, I'm old. How old? I'm 30, and those were out when I was in 1st grade. Maybe before and after that, but definitely 1st grade. Your kid did creepy crawlers. Oh, okay. My kid did not. My oldest kid is 4. Speaking of the 4-year-old, that Jeep has not put any additional mileage on. Kind of thinking I spent a lot of time making a thing that isn't going to get used much. I don't know. Oh yeah, you don't want to pick those up fresh out of the oven. Okay, I'm going to look through these. I got these 2. Let's see. Okay, instruction manual. How to operate and care for your kiln. Put a Tesla motor in it. I was thinking of putting 2 of them Razor scooter motors in there and cranking it up to 24 volts, see what happens. Jeep doesn't have a working heater. That's true. Doesn't have a roof either, or a windshield. lining a pile of dirt with Satanite. So speaking of how much cast iron there is, inside the mind of Matt, hello, Merry Holidays to you too. See that box there? That's a box that an old Whirlpool upright washer transmission comes in, and it is bottom to top full of cast iron that I've salvaged. So I got plenty of cast iron. Plenty. Welcome to fatherhood. Yeah, a lot of time, and then the kid doesn't do it. We'll see. You see a huge furnace. Oh, you must have missed the beginning. You must have missed the beginning. Those are not furnaces. Those are electric kilns. My new acquisition came from a very nice old couple who didn't want money for them. They just wanted them out of the basement. So I took them out of the basement, and I will put them to good use. Am I growing pot? No, I am not. You must be talking about that. That's not pot. Those are a bunch of different species of bamboo plant, and they need a winter hibernation, but they can't handle being outside in Wisconsin winter. So yes, I grow bamboo plants because I like using the canes for stuff, and they're cool looking. Plus, they taste really good. The shoots actually taste really good. Unfortunately, Wisconsin means they don't grow, which is kind of a bummer. Steel foundry used turn iron into steel. That would be pretty cool. I'm not sure I have the skills for that. Although I do have a couple of metallurgy books now. You got a kiln recently. Great asset for lost PLA casting. That's what I'm hoping. That's another thing I'm wishing to use them for. Cane is good for beating kids. I was thinking fishing poles and like trellises and stuff. Gardening is another hobby of mine, but it doesn't make good videos, so I don't bother. I just do it off camera. Wisconsin winter is not suitable for human life. Yeah, that's true. It's not too bad right now, but it's not February right now. Handlebar mustache. I think I got a good amount here. I need to shave. See, the problem is with a mustache, people don't tell you this until you get a mustache. When you get this much facial hair and you go to eat a sandwich, the mustache hair goes in and you bite it, and when you bite it, it pulls on your upper lip and it hurts. It hurts. That means shave. That's when I shave my beard. Is the plant still alive from your first bucket foundry? Yes, it is alive, and it is as big as it ever has been. But that's not in the garage. That's downstairs in the basement. I have a warehouse light, and I stick it under that, and it keeps it alive. That's a pepper plant. It cannot handle being in the garage. It gets too cold here. It can't really handle the light either, because it's not a grow light. It's like a warehouse light, and it just barely survives the winter, and then I stick it outside when the spring comes. Groom your mustache out of your mouth with a fork. I don't think my wife would appreciate that. Yeah. Yes, Roy, grow a mustache. Actually, no. No, not just a mustache. Roy, here's what you do, okay? Pro tip. Big mustache, all the way down, you know, the kind, all the way down, connect to the mutton chops. Just shave this. Do it. Or just the mutton chops. That works too. Or shave everything. Everything shaved except this. Grow it super long and wax it all the way down with big curls. You know, old school cartoon villain style. Do that. Have you ever gotten your beard caught in your jacket zipper? No. Never happened. Glad you asked for grooming tips. Hello, SW Dweeb. Were you here when I showed off my new acquisition? My pottery kilns? Pretty cool. Got them from a very nice man who could not use them anymore. Handlebar mustache. Yeah, wow. Wow is right. 2 electric kilns. So I still don't think I'm going to do that much as far as videos on pottery, but I mean, who's not going to grab a free kiln, right? I like pottery. I like making stuff. Can make a lot more stuff with a electric pottery kiln. So That'll be sweet. Maybe crucibles. Crucibles or molds. Got a lot of comments. Good. You did the curly thing. Yeah, that's a good look. See, I don't think I could pull that off because my little kids, they grab. And I think grabbing a mustache and pulling it hurts. I mean, grabbing this is bad enough. Forge a katana. I am not a skilled forger of things at the moment. I am what you would call a super noob. Not only am I a noob, I am a noob of being a noob. I have not really forged anything, so a katana is a little bit beyond my skill level. Maybe someday. Maybe Roy will do it. I bet you if I eventually get good enough at forging to pull it off without shattering it all over my face, I will have it made before Roy will, because Roy doesn't like making swords. I might not either, because well, what am I going to do with a sword? You know, it's weird. Am I going to open letters with it? I don't know. Was the coin which SW Dweeb gave to Paul the one old foundry man made? I do not know. Roy, darn straight. Yep. You know that I still... Speaking of the coins, it's still right here, my match plate. Ready for it not to be raining. Noobception. Use a sword to shave. Yeah, because I won't behead myself doing that or anything. How did you burn off the 80 pounds? Dean Morris asks. So, if it was 60 pounds, not 80. Although at times I was close to 80. I stopped, you know all that crap that everyone says is bad for you that you shouldn't eat? I stopped eating that. And then I also started fasting, doing intermittent fasting, so like I'd pig out for like a meal, and then I wouldn't eat for like another 20 hours, and then I'd just pig out again. But I'd pig out on healthy food. And then kind of morphed in something called the ketogenic diet, which is just, it's complicated, and I don't stick to it very strictly. Basically, cut out a lot of extra processed sugar. So like, cut out a lot of gluten. No more soda, no more chips, no more candy. And if you want to fry something, use butter. So, does healthy food include instant noodles? Nope. Keep my kids, what? Keep it away from my kids so they don't take it to school. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Lost almost 50 pounds on keto. Yeah, and you know what? Steak and butter is really tasty. Like, I'm never going to get sick of that. Soda's really terrible. Yeah, cut the soda, and I started drinking whole milk. I know milk, even whole milk, isn't very keto. What's the healthy way to eat bacon? In the mouth. You eat it through the mouth. I eat maybe half a dozen strips of bacon a day. It fits the ketogenic diet, because it's really no sugar. It's just tons of fat and protein and some salt. Salt isn't as bad as you think it is. Cholesterol, that's fine too. Fried butter. The frying might not be good, but the butter itself is pretty cool. No bacon suppositories. That's right. I don't think you can absorb bacon anyway. Dipping the bacon in butter. Yeah, that might be a bit much, although I do tend to eat eggs fried in bacon grease. Cheese curds. Cheese curds fit. Maybe not the breaded fried cheese curds, but normal cheese curds. Eat a lot of cheese, says Wisconsin. I feel like we're drifting topic-wise. Am I the only one who feels that? This seems overwhelming. Which part? Poutine? I've never had poutine. Forging. Start with a chisel. Use O2 steel and use it to etch brass. Chisel would be good. These comments. Yeah, there are a lot of comments. A lot of food comments. You know, I was thinking, so someone mentioned steel and chisels. This van that I'm working on, that I haven't made any videos about in a long time, but it might look somewhat different to you if you're paying close attention. The leaf springs in the back, they're kind of nasty looking. I think I might replace those, and then I'll have a bunch of strips of spring steel. That would be pretty cool. Any plans on a bigger propane tank? I thought about it, but no. What I plan to do is get another regulator and parallel them up, connect everything together. So I'm using multiple normal grill tanks at once. That is my next plan on the propane tank to stop it freezing. If you eat butter or milk, you spend 2 hours on the toilet. That's not good. Lactose intolerant, I imagine. I knew a guy in college. He was very lactose intolerant, severely lactose intolerant, but he loved sour cream. Loved it. So he would sit down with a baked potato, mounds of butter and sour cream, mix it up, and eat. And we're like, dude, aren't you lactose intolerant? And he said, worth it. And then we would just avoid him for like the rest of the day. Jet propulsion grade. Yeah, he was propulsion grade lactose intolerant, that's for sure. The van, yeah. That's worth a look, actually. Take a look. Okay, that does not roll over cords very easily. So the van, you might notice there's a lot more rust proofing here. And a lot more space. Wow, that light screws everything up. A lot more space. And I was doing, yesterday, I was making, just last night, I was making a patch for that. And you can roll underneath it real easy. So I've been cutting this out because this was pretty rusty under the step. Been cutting that out and also cleaning off the undercoating and cleaning this off. I'm about ready to clean this up and make the panel for here and weld that in. That was just exploratory grinding. Gonna have to grind more out. And then back there is much more. But see, I can slide under here. I can just roll right underneath and touch the other running board. Oh, and by the way, that is exactly as loud as you think it is. So, yeah, but the floors are not bad, you know? Still pretty solid. But here are the leaf springs that don't look good. Someone said they look kind of bowed a little bit. So those might be replaced and used for forging because they're big. You know, they're big, they're wide, they're thick. Yeah. Oh yeah, someone said plants. Yeah, look, definitely a bamboo plant. Do they salt the roads in Wisconsin? Yes. And yes, it destroys vehicles. That van is a sufferer of salty roads. Although, for some reason, certain vehicles suffer a lot worse. This van barely suffered from it. 30 years old, and like, see how not full of holes it is? But those new, like, Dodge Sprinter vans, when they get 5 years old, you can just punch right through them. They get so rusty. Too young to know what the car. You can know plenty of things about cars when you're young. Do you owe your success at getting stuff done to making YouTube videos about it? Somewhat, maybe. Although making YouTube videos takes 3 to 4 times longer than just making the thing. So it's kind of like motivation to keep working, but most of the work isn't actually working, if that makes sense. Designed for forced upgrades. What do you mean? Forced induction upgrades? There's definitely going to be forced induction. Someone said, hi, Big Stack? Did he show up? When I was under the van, I wasn't really watching the comments. So, yeah. Salty deer carcass. You also make videos. Yeah, videos are fun. That's why I started doing it. It was pretty good. Where do you find the discipline to multitask like that? Big Stack, hello. I don't have any coffee out here to show you, but if I did, I would show you a large mug of coffee. That's how. It's not so much discipline as it is mania. Like, just manic. I gotta do everything. Gotta do it. And you never sit down, and you never sleep. That's how I do everything. G'day. Hello. Hello from Australia. Well, hello to Australia. You're there. Yeah. Discipline. Yeah. I'm not that disciplined. More mad. Manic is better. Manic is even better than discipline because you get 50 things done and you think about 50 other things and then you go insane. And then one day you wake up and they find you dead in your bathroom. Not a good way to go. Perhaps I should calm down. NZ? Something about New Zealand? I don't know. Yeah. Start furnace $100 bills. You're on ADHD medication, you understand. You know, I've never been tested for that. You get 50 parts of things done. Yeah, that's probably more, that's much more accurate. 50 parts of things. I've forced myself to cut back on the number of things that I'm doing and try to focus on getting some of them done. Or, even better, so here's the trick. You don't just go down the list and get everything done. You also go down the list and just throw things off your list and never worry about them again. That's just as good as getting them done, except with less work. Yep. Do I have a Patreon account? Yes, I do, somewhere. Patreon.com/Paul's Garage or something. Read through the entire description though, because I do like the entire thing trying to convince you not to give me money because I don't need it. So yes, melt steel. I have thought about that. So I looked into this. Cast iron has the lowest melting point of all the steel irons. And then there's like cast iron, tool steel, mild steel, pure iron. Pure iron's hottest. I highly doubt I can do pure iron. I can do cast iron pretty easy. Tool steel is the next one up. But that stuff ain't cheap. You know, higher carbon content tool steel. You can't melt steel and make something out of it. You mess with the carbon content for steel. Oh, that's, see, listen to Chirpy. Listen to Chirpy. Melt steel. Yes, Alex Steel. I get it. So what you're saying is if I melt tool steel and cast something with it, it won't be tool steel anymore. It'll be crap steel. Did I get that right? What side is the crucible? You mean this one? I think this is a number 6. I believe it's a number 6. Stick to forgery. Yes, forgery indeed. Paul Steele. Okay, he says, Alex Steele says that's his real name. Is that his real name? It can't be his real name. That's, no. I mean, I get it. Steel isn't spelled like the metal steel, but that can't be a real name. It's got to be like Joseph Stalin. That wasn't his name. His name wasn't that cool. How much is the number 6 crucible? No idea. I think this was like 40 bucks. It's literally been years since I bought that thing, so I can't remember. It'll be brittle at best. Okay, so forget casting steel. Forge steel. I think forge it. Oh, I just dropped something. Jesse Steele. Yeah, that's... Some people have names that are too cool. You know what name isn't cool? Paul. It's just a name. Number 6 crucible is 26. Is that 26 Australian? I really don't know the conversion. Check this out. Here's another thing I wanted to ask you. Where do you your crucibles? Amazon, usually. This is the shaft out of a Whirlpool washing machine transmission. What kind of metal is this? I don't know. I thought it was stainless, but then some of it was peeling off. And you don't peel a surface off of stainless with another metal. I cannot figure it out. Spark test. Yes, spark test. Chirpy saw me grinding it once, and he thought maybe it wasn't stainless steel. If I could just figure out what this is, it might help. Like, can I forge this into something? Like, they don't rust. This would have been inside of water for like 10 years. And it's clearly shiny. I don't know. I don't think I have a grinding wheel somewhere. Okay, does a magnet stick to it? Hang on. Here it is. Here's a magnet. Yes, a magnet sticks to it. So it's some kind of steel. Chrome plated. It could be, but it like peeled off. What is the end game for all this knowledge you are acquiring? It's not stainless. Okay. Chrome plated 4140. Okay, that's Trippy's guess. Nickel steel. Dissolve it in acid. A lot of these things I can't do. Where do you get hardwood charcoal briquettes? I got them at Menards. It can be forged easily. Okay. So that's mostly my question. Can it be forged easily? Okay, 4140, perhaps chrome plated. Cool. So I'll try forging this eventually. I mean, it's thick. It's pretty thick stuff. It's thicker than my finger, and it's round and they're long. So that was just a random question. Thank you, chat. What did I give you? I gave you one of those. I didn't remember what it was. Okay, it's not stainless. Okay. Someone asked, what's the end game? I don't have an end game. I have a present game. Basically, it's try to keep my brain occupied so I don't go insane. That is my end game. Although, sort of end game, I want to learn how to do everything so I can build custom cars, like for myself. And that's partly why I'm doing the van, because that's a practice vehicle. You know, I just had the van in the driveway, not doing anything with it. So I'm tearing into that to acquire all of those. That's sort of like to focus more of the skills. Speaking of that, I got a couple new tools coming today that will help with the sheet metal. So, endgame apocalyptic time, we can make stuff. Yeah, sure. Sanity preservation. Yeah, that's probably my end goal. Sanity preservation. Because if I don't have something to do, I get like super duper depressed. So it's either manic or it's super depressed. So focus on the manic and really like dig into that, and I don't go crazy. Things like pens, sure. So still waiting on those little trash cars. What do you mean trash cars? When did I talk about trash cars? Yes, build lathe. Chirpy gave me the stack of lathe castings up there. That's actually gonna be probably once I do the some more casting and then forge those forge something on a one video long, like not a series, just like a single video. Then I'm gonna start doing the lathe, and that's gonna give me time to do a bunch of the scraping of the lathe bed before I get to the videos. Can I melt pewter? Yes. Yes, you can. Pewter melts at a very low temperature. Pens, giant robots, yeah. I literally have a list full of projects. And then after the van, so the van I want to rebuild and get it awesome again, but with tons of power. And I want to build it into a tow vehicle primarily, so I can tow a car trailer and a car. And then after I do the van, I want to build a car, probably like something I can use for racing, because I race my RX-8, but it's totally stock, and I don't want to change it, but I drive it to the racetrack, and I kind of want to build something cooler, maybe do track days, but a lot of track day kind of cars aren't so street legal, so I'm going to tow them with the van. That is my ultimate goal for the van, anyway. Old Peter is lead in it. A lot of lead, mostly tin. Yeah. You know, but keep everything in storage and not drive them. Probably. Works for my parents. That's what they do. My Mazdas are currently in storage right now, not being driven because it's salty outside. How do you aluminum? With fire? When are you doing your personal coins casting? Plan is tomorrow. I was planning on doing them last week actually, but it rained all weekend, so I couldn't. But I got the match plate right here, and I got the flasks right here, and I got the bronze over there on a shelf, and good to go. Good to go on those. I'm going to do that in tin bronze. Tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. 62 logged in. Welcome. Yep. Have you watched Project Binky? All of it. Yep. I've watched all Project Binky. So the thing, Project Binky is mostly metal fabrication. So they're doing like, they're taking the sheet metal, but they're breaking it, you know, bending and welding and cutting and all that stuff. How do you say aluminum? Aluminum, like American aluminum. But what Project Binky doesn't do, what those guys aren't doing, is metal shaping. I mean, it's like the video I made where I made that aluminum thing. Where'd it go? Oh no! I totally didn't just spill a bottle of acetone on the ground. You saw nothing. I don't know where it went. The video where I made the bowl, the sheet of aluminum, made it into a bowl. They don't do that on Project Binky. They don't. Because that's not bending, cutting, welding, drilling. That's also stretching and shrinking. Two things they didn't do. And you can use a stretcher and shrinker, which I have on the shelf over there, right there. But you can also use the stump, the shrinking stump, sandbag, and a couple of tools I'm getting today. They should be delivered today, maybe Monday. Although they're Christmas presents, so I can't open them yet. But melt your car. I could melt the Mazda's mostly. I think some of the body panels are aluminum. Part of the engine's aluminum. A lot of it's steel, though. I'm gonna melt the intake manifold on that, though. The intake manifold on that is this big and it's cast aluminum. Gonna bail. All right, Big Stack. I will see you later. Have a good night. Night shift. I could not do a night shift. Like an English wheel. That's one of them that's showing up. Yeah. Can I melt an airplane? How many coins? 2. Well, I'm going to cast 2. Just 2. And these will have stuff on the other side. I'm just going to cast the 2 with this one match plate. But the reason I made a match plate is so I can more easily cast a bunch of them in series. If I had multiple of this size flask, I could ram a whole bunch of them up at once and just pour. That's the advantage of a match plate. You can ram them up more repeatably. But I want to make another match plate, a big one to use with my bigger flasks that are over there, so I can pour like 10 at a time. That would be nice. I want to make a whole bunch of them. Aluminum? Yeah. Can I cast an iron shield? Maybe. I was planning on eventually trying to make a griddle. A couple other things like that. Weed killer furnace. You know, I've heard weed killers, they run too rich. You can run into some problems, especially with aluminum, because if you run the burner rich when you're melting aluminum, there's a lot of unburned hydrocarbons that can get soaked up by the molten aluminum. And then when it solidifies, you'll end up with a bunch of pores in it, because the aluminum will come out of solution when it freezes again. Official currency of Paul land. Cast coins. Could be. Poland? I've never been to Poland. Or Europe in general. Though I do have some relatives who were in Prussia, which I think was... Northern Prussia was where Poland currently is, because borders change a lot over there for some reason. Yeah, but no, I want to try making the coins in tin, bronze, and probably silicon bronze, aluminum, maybe iron, a whole bunch of things. War, that's the reason. Yeah. Thermite. I don't know if I want to do thermite. For some reason. Yeah, why can't you just get along? You know, it's just get along. How soft is pewter? Very soft. Real pewter is very, very soft. Like if I had a hunk of it, you can just bend it. Kind of like aluminum, probably. Like here's a big strip of aluminum, right? If this were pewter, you could still just bend it with your hands. It's real soft. Except unlike aluminum will just bend right back, pewter won't. pewter will stay bent. I don't think it's as flexible. If I had a huge amount of aluminum, what would you do with it? What kind of aluminum? Is it sheet aluminum? Because I have a huge sheet of aluminum over there. Or cast aluminum? I would probably cast things with it. Get so rich, shoots fire out the top. Yeah. If I had a lot of cast aluminum, which I kind of do, but I don't want to cut all of it up and melt it, I would just make a bunch of stuff out of cast aluminum. See, the thing is, when I got stuff, make a bow from aluminum. That wouldn't work. Okay, Chino's heading out. We'll see you later. Aluminum doesn't want to return to shape as well as wood does. So the thing with, like, what would you do with all this of something? I really like having a goal. Like, so I'm not trying to melt aluminum. I'm trying to make something out of aluminum, and melting it and casting it is the way I choose to do it. So it's more project, like end thing oriented, not so much do it oriented. Getting these things, these big pottery kilns, that's unusual, because I don't have a specific goal in mind for the pottery kilns yet, although getting them was just like, I can get them, so I get them. If that makes sense. I generally like to focus on projects. I buy a tool when I have a project I want to do that I need the tool to do. If that makes sense. You have scrap, wire, and copper and aluminum. Cool. Copper wire is a great source of very, very pure copper. Very, very pure. The problem with melting aluminum wiring is the surface area to volume. You can lose a lot of it to oxidation. Heat treating aluminum. I also thought about heat treating as well. That was another thought that I had. Yeah, I actually don't melt wire. I get most of my copper is plumbing related. Here, I'll show you. See, I get most of it like this. See these? This is like 1/4-inch copper line, and a lot of people use these for hooking up ice makers going to the fridge. Right? Yes, Chirpy's right. Copper is great for alloying. It's pretty much pure aluminum, and you can measure it out very easily. But this, people run this to the refrigerators for the ice maker and the stuff. Problem is, the water, especially water here, eats copper. It eats it out from the inside. So eventually the inside gets all corroded. Then you move the fridge out to fix it. I'm an appliance repair guy, remember? And these start leaking. They start spraying a fine powder. So we take this off, throw it. We used to take it off, pitch it, and put on plastic that won't get corroded away. But now we take it off and say, hey, would you mind if I just swipe that? And they say yay or nay. And if they say yay, I take the roll and I bring it home and I melt it. Because you can't use it for plumbing anymore. It's got holes in it. That's why we took it off. So that's how I get most of my copper. Plumbing. And plumbing copper is not as pure as electrical copper. So, fun fact there. Although it's pure enough for me, I really don't care if it's not perfect. Moonshine distillation. Yeah, I suppose. Full of limescale and crud. Not usually limescale. Crud and corrosion, yes. But everybody here has a water softener, and that takes all the lime out of the water. So its standard is like 10 to 15 grains of hardness. But here, it's like 40 grains hardness. It's terribly hard. So everyone has a water softener, so the water going through these pipes is 0 grains hardness. You also get trace amounts of salt and that kind of stuff, which is why it gets all corroded. You just take it, you're rude. Okay. Bought some aluminum wire and the magnet stuck to it. If it's pure aluminum wire, it shouldn't stick to a magnet. I think you got something else. I would hate to say. Yeah, I got a whole bucket of this stuff. We can't use it. I also my dad had a whole bunch of this in his attic. That because he's been a repair guy for like 40 years, and he used to use this, and he had a whole bunch of it, and then he switched. He stopped using this, started using the plastic stuff because he hated leaky hoses, and then he just gave it all to me and said, "Here, I don't want it anymore. Melt it." Okay, I'll melt it. Have a reducing atmosphere, copper smelting corrosion. Reducing atmosphere, yeah, it's not so good for aluminum, but it should be good for copper anyway. Yeah, don't steal it. No Home Depot aluminum. I don't like Home Depot anything anymore. Or Menards. You used to be able to get sheet copper at Menards, and now you go and get sheet copper. It's the same price, but it's sheet aluminum plated with copper. No me likey. I understand it's more expensive. Everything's more expensive now because of tariffs or whatever, but don't like it. I'm going to drop that on the ground. I really don't have anything else to say, so if you got any last minute questions, let's hear them. And I'm probably going to do a video on the kiln, and also I got some mail. I got a box over there to open them up. Do I have a Facebook page? Yes, I do. I set it up. I didn't add anything to it, and someone found it already. So I guess if you look for it, I'll try putting it in comments in like the description of everything now at some point. But you can look for it, I guess. There's really nothing there, but if you want to go there and start posting stuff, by all means, go nuts. Ski mask, big cutters, and scavenge copper wiring. Yeah, probably not gonna do that. You are a cool guy. Thank you, G-Father. I went to a place to fix, I think I was fixing a washing machine, and all the plumbing was ripped out. Someone broke into the basement and was trying to steal the pipes, and they didn't shut the water off. They just grabbed the pipes and tried ripping them out of the walls and spraying water all over. Yeah, they got in trouble. A lot of criminals are stupid. Aluminum car wheel for foundry. I have heard people say they set the wheel on top of a fire. They get like a wood fire going, set the wheel on top of a fire, wait till it gets really hot, then like kick it off the fire so it's on the ground and bash it with a sledgehammer. Breaks it right apart. So get it super hot, smash it with a hammer. Sledgehammer. Yep. The galvanizing magnetic. Okay, so people are figuring out who gave this vid a dislike. Everything gets a dislike. This is the internet. People don't like everything. What's up? Hello, Corey. I hate to say it, but I think I'm wrapping up the stream. So you showed up near the end. Will the wire you get not melt? Everything melts if it's hot enough. So who knows? Who knows? Sorry, no problem. I think you can rewind it or something. Wood does not melt. Okay, that's true. Any single thing, single element should not even everything. Like you can't melt dry ice. It sublimates. So I don't know. Hello from Hawaii. Aloha indeed. Don't leave yet. What? More ingots going to be making. Probably silicon bronze next. Yeah. Any other questions? I got the heater going, but it's still kind of cold out here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, check out the Discord. There should be a link to a Discord server in every single video. The description under every video has a link to the Discord server. It's open. It's free. The Facebook, I don't have a link to that yet. It's literally just the page and the logo and me saying, how on earth did you find this already? I haven't told anybody about it yet. So ignore that. Just forget that part. But it's there if you want to start doing stuff. How did you find Quirky Dog? The music? It's incompetech.com or something. A lot of people who make gaming videos use the free music from that site. So I just said, oh, this sounds like elevator music. I'm going to use that. Will my wire melt it? Yeah, your wire will melt if you get hot enough. Any wire should, most metal should melt. I just don't know if you can melt it. I mean, oxyacetylene should melt anything just fine, but don't use oxyacetylene. You use charcoal, then you might have trouble. You might have some problems there. Aluminum sure melts. I had some people over. We were trying to TIG weld, and TIG welding aluminum ain't easy. So yeah, if anyone has anything else to say, if not, I will be heading out. Yeah, so listen to Tobo Mott for casting stuff. The wife is calling. Yes, the wife, well, she's not calling, although my daughter did open the door and stare at me for a minute, which was really creepy. Rocks do melt. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for streaming. Join the Discord if you want to keep talking. It's free. Or Facebook, which I don't have a link for, I'm sorry. So good luck searching. I salute a third time with my filthy hands. Wow, those are real dirty. And I will see you all next time.